welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I'm working on another one of my acrylic collage paintings. I just rubbed a candle on there. I need to find better because I've got black on that candle and it's starting to show up on my paper when I rub it. So using that as a resist, and I didn't have a lot of browns in my acrylic inks, so I'm just really watering down some of my acrylic paint. And I'm going for like a hot chocolate sort of look with the colors. So I'm putting a lot of white in there and a little bit of buff. And just going to let it run. I lost most of the resist. I think I have too much on there. That looks like chocolate milk sitting on my table, right? It could be coffee for you coffee drinkers. Most people drink coffee. I don't. So you know how when they make you like a coffee at a fancy place or an espresso or whatever, they do that thing with the creamer and you get like this cool pattern, but I was trying to replicate that, but it's not enough of an angle. So I keep trying to mess with it. So this brown page ends up with a lot of hearts on it. And this one was done in January. So this one has a little bit better. This one looks more like it's at an angle. So I think I go with that one. I can't remember for sure. Yep, I do. Okay. And now I'm doing the top of the mug. I did the circles, but then I didn't like them. They were too high. And we're just going to make that be the hot chocolate. I do have this super sped up, otherwise it would be kind of long. So there we have that piece. The heart's not even dry yet. Okay, so this next piece, I didn't even realize what paper I was using. This was supposed to be the paper that I collage onto. Like, it's a much heavier weight than that other paper. So I go along and add all this green and stuff to it, and then I realize it's the really heavy paper and I don't want to waste it, so instead of collaging the background, this becomes the background, which it works okay. I think it's fine. It's just not quite the same technique as the last couple I did, but it's got the same idea. And I'm just using random green colors that I have in my acrylic inks. Oh yes, I add red, but not a lot of that stays on there. So I set that aside, clean up my mess, and then bring it back. I think at this point I have realized what I did, so I'm just adding scratches. I'm using the pointy back of a paintbrush. This one's designed to scratch into watercolor paper. And then I'm going to add some more of the acrylic ink and hope that it soaks into those scratches to look more like a pine forest in the background. It's kind of what I'm going for. Some pine trees. Worked on some of the scratches. Some of my acrylic inks, those little, what are those droppers, don't work at all. In fact, most of them, they don't work. So again, just putting layers of scratches and layers of the acrylic ink. Yes, this is a very messy process. Oh, and to get more texture, I am taking some actually deli paper. I crunched it up and then smushed it on there, put it under weight, and let it dry. It sticks a little bit, but it gives it an interesting texture. But I thought that would be fun. So now I have a couple of leftovers from previous projects, and then this bright yellow and red one was a page that my nephew wanted to make. He saw me making my messy paints, and so he wanted to do it. So I just put it with my collection of scraps that I've been accumulating from this weekly project, and this will make a great candle. So there's my candle. And now I need to see. Oh, I think I do a tray for my candle first. Something for it to be sitting on, since it looks like we're out in the woods or something. And then I think I make the mug out of the same paper. I really like how this paper turned out. It's just really interesting. And that one I created for my previous project. It was the log that the little creature was peeking out of. A playlist will be down below with the projects for this year. If you're interested in seeing the other two, I think I've just got two. This is just the number 3. So there. Starting to look right. So now I'm going to glue them on to the background. And this is almost like a practice in creating a still life, because it's really just a couple of images in the center and then sort of an abstracted background. Once I get those on and let them dry, and they're going to need a bit of work to get them to look like a painting. And my chocolate is definitely not brown enough. It's more like hot milk, right? So we gotta make it hot chocolate. I'm going to use that same brown to create some shading so these collaged on elements don't look quite so flat. I was thinking I was adding highlights, but I'm not using white. I'm using kind of a buff color. I decided that the ground, they just look like they're floating. So I'm taking Hooker's Green, I think it is, and some matte medium to create, or glazing medium, I'm not sure which one I used, just to create a glaze to darken that base area a little bit and make it look more like ground so they don't look like they're floating. I didn't want the harsh line, so I just kind of blended it out. And that's just kind of a semi-damp baby wipe. Just been sitting there, so it's not really soaking, but I decided to go in and get have some pine branches kind of hanging down from above. Here I finally get some real white to do some highlights. I keep going around with the green, trying to make my background look better. It's not too bad, it's interesting, right? And mixed media-ish. So I'm going to add just a few more touches to the shading. Get that mug to look a little bit more round. Shade behind the candle, on the candle, I think, yeah. To get it to look like it's behind a little bit more. And that's going to be about it. I hope you like this. I hope you're enjoying this series. I have quite a few more that I have planned. If you did like it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and thank you all for watching.